My name is Joe Leone, and I'm here to teach you how to play 51st State solo using the Borgo Automa rules. At the end of the video, I describe how to incorporate all the expansions and include a challenging mode. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. The Borgo Automa simulates a two-player game. So most of the mechanics are the same as if you were playing two-player. For example, the setup. We're going to have our deck. In this deck I have the 51st State cards, the promo pack 1, and New Era. We're going to get our initial hand by dealing 6 cards and choosing 4 of them. We have Scrap Metal, the Iron Gang, a Wreck Tank, Gunsmith, Gun Shop, and Espionage Center. I think we're going to take the Scrap Metal. We're going to take the Wreck Tank. We're going to take the Iron Gang, possibly for the deal. And the Gun Shop, maybe to use those guns for something useful. The 2 remaining cards go in the discard pile. Now we're ready for the first lookout phase. In a 2-player game, you draw 3 cards. The player with the first player token chooses one of the 3. So I will choose the oil field. The Borgo Automa chooses randomly and automatically builds that into his state. In this case, it's an action. The remaining card goes to the discard pile. We do the second lookout. We draw 3 cards. This time, Borgo gets to choose first. So I'm just going to shuffle these up. And he chooses another action. And I'm placing it, even though Borgo doesn't use a player board, I'm placing it in this area so I remember it takes 5 to raise these, 4 and 3. And with these cards, the only real important thing to see is the spoils I get for raising them. And now I have a choice between a feature. Every time I make a deal, I gain a worker, or a production, and I will take the production. Then the last thing you do during the lookout phase is turn over the connection cards. And now this is one of the exceptions. Borgo is going to place 1 worker above the scoreboard here. That is going to be more or less a timing mechanism for the Borgo actions. Then we go to production phase. You get the production for all of your deals, your faction production, and any production cards that you have. Borgo doesn't use goods, so he is not going to do any production. So in this case, I get 3 workers, 1 gray contact token, and 2 cards, which are the deserted colony or an assembly plant. During the action phase, the plays go follow all the normal rules except for when I raise the Borgo locations. I will get the spoil. Borgo gets nothing. So, how do I want to start? I think I am going to start by sending 2 workers and claiming the junk train. Borgo's play. Now, Borgo's actions are going to be based on a draw of the card. We are going to look for symbols here. If it has a gun, it is going to remove a worker and attack my tableau. I have to attack the tableau. He turns over a card. We're going to match this symbol to any of the locations in my hand. I have none, so that is a failed attack, but Borgo gets 1 victory point. And it's my turn again. we're going to use the junk train to gain 3 blue contact tokens. Borgo's turn. Borgo attacks again. He has no worker to remove, so he passes his turn. Okay, I'm going to use my contact token to build a feature, which is scrap metal, and I'm going to get 3 gears placed on that card that I can use, and I do not have to remove them during cleanup. Okay, we're going to use one of those gears to gain 2 gray contact tokens. We are going to spend 1 gray contact token to get an action. We are going to use a gray contact token to get Ricky the Merchant, which is going to produce a blue contact token. We're going to spend our worker to get 2 fuel. We're going to spend our fuel to gain 2 contact tokens. We're going to spend 2 contact tokens to make a deal for an ammunition. We're going to spend 1 contact token to make a deal for a gun. Spend 3 contact tokens to make a deal for another gun. We're going to spend our 2 guns to get a universal token. We have no workers. We spent guns, fuel, and gears. I have no extra actions, so my turn is complete and I pass. We do the cleanup phase. Those get to stay there. And now it's time for lookout. At the end of turn 1, Borgo has 3, I have 3. Borgo is the first player this time. Borgo is going to build a school. I have my choice between the Thieves' Caravan or the Old Settlement. We have a couple gears there. I think we're going to go with the Thieves' Caravan. Now, during cleanup, this was supposed to get buried. I get my choice between the assembly plant, another Ricky, or the armored car. I am going to take the armored car just because it's my favorite promo. Oh no, but the assembly plant. Yeah, we'll have to take the assembly plant. I like that armored car. And he gets a production of Ricky. We turn over the contact cards, and now we put workers equal to the round number. This is round 2 for Borgo. We go through the supply phase. So I get 2 pistols, an ammunition, 3 workers, a gray token, 2 cards. And a blue token. Ricky has flipped over a card. It has neither of the symbols of gun, gear, or brick. So he is going to take one of the 2 contact cards, even, odd. He takes the even, he takes the punks, that gets buried, and he gains 2 victory points. So if I want the merchants, I have to take them now. Okay, we're going to spend a gear to get 2 gray contact tokens. Going to draw a card. It's a brick. When Borgo draws a card with a brick, draw the next card and build it into his state. In this case, it's production. All right. We are going to spend 3 contact tokens to build the assembly plant. It's Borgo's turn. Borgo is attacking, so this gets turned over. He's attacking a people location. I have no people location, so Borgo only gets 1 point. Now we're going to send a worker for 2 fuel cans. Borgo, it has no icons, so he's going to take this contact card, get 2. We are going to spend a fuel can to get 2 deal tokens. Borgo has none of the symbols, so he removes the worker and gains a victory point. I'm going to use 3 contact tokens to make a deal for a gear. Borgo does not have any of the symbols, so he has no more workers left, so he passes his turn. I'll become the first player. We are going to spend a worker and my 2 gears to get 3 victory points. I have nothing I can develop. I have nothing I can build. I can't make any more deals. My guns are, well, I got nothing I can raise in my hand, so I pass. Oh, it's a waste of resources. Turn 3. I am the first player. I need some production here, guys. I have an action and a production. Okay. Well, it's something. We will take the brick supplier. And he builds an action. And he has an open production. Now, if I send a worker to the open production, I put a worker here, and Borgo, instead of getting a worker, will get an extra guy on top. And I am going to we'll take the training camp. Okay, turn over to contact cards. This is the 3rd turn. So Borgo gets 3 workers up here. And the score right now, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to 7. I need to pick up the pace. I am the first player. Resources. I get a gear, 2 guns, and ammo. 3 workers. A gray contact token, 2 cards. And a blue contact token. And we got builders and black market contacts. Ooh. Spend our 2 guns to get a defense token and a universal token. And anytime during my turn, I can place this on one of my things, and I think we're going to protect the assembly plant. Borgo's turn. Borgo builds into his, so he builds an action. I am going to spend 2 tokens, gray tokens, to build the brick supplier, which is going to give me a brick. Borgo has none of the icons on it. So Borgo loses a guy, gains a victory point. We are going to take 2 workers and claim the punks. Borgo has a gear. When a gear comes up, Borgo uses my open production. Since I have no open production, Borgo doesn't anything. Had I had open production, he would have put a worker here, I would have gotten a worker, and he would have gotten a worker up there. But as it is, it's just a prep turn for him. I'm going to use the punks to gain 2 attack tokens. Borgo has no symbols. He's going to claim the merchants and gain 2 victory points. Okay, well, we'll have to use those 2 tokens to raise the wreck tank and gain 2 victory points. Borgo, he is attacking. He attacks gas masks and ammo. So he destroys my brick supplier. Gains 2 points. And I gain a brick. I do great, gain a brick. Oh, now I can at least build something. We're going to spend a brick to develop that into the pub. That gains me a victory point and 2 cards. Borgo has neither icon. He gains 1 last point. He has not passed yet, but he is getting ready to pass. We're going to spend a gear for 2 gray contacts. Borgo passes. So he will become the first player. Okay, we're going to spend 2 gray contacts to build an excavator, which is going to give me a construction token. We can spend this as a fuel to get 2 blue tokens. We're going to spend those 3 blue tokens to make a deal for ammunition. Okay, we are going to spend a brick to develop Ricky, send him to go make a training camp. That'll give me a point for the development. We are going to use our construction token to redevelop scrap metal into the skyscraper. Now, since I use the construction token, the symbols do not have to match. Clean up. And then look out with Borgo being first. 3 cards. Borgo builds a feature. We are going to take the factory. And we are going to take huge machinery. Okay, I forgot what turn it is, so I can look at the remaining connection cards. This is turn 4. So Borgo gets a 4th action this turn. And we do resources. There's that. There's a gear, 2 guns, another ammo, 3 workers, a gray contact, 2 cards, another card, a construction token. And Borgo's the first player. He's attacking me right off the bat. He's attacking a gun or a star. I have a gun at distance 2, a star at distance 3. A star at distance 3. So it's my choice between these two. And since I have no use for gears, he'll get 2 victory points for that, and that'll cost him spend a token to build huge machinery. Has no symbols, even odd. He takes this one for 2 victory points. I have to take this one. I can't afford to let him get 2 more victory points. He attacks me. He attacks a gun or ammunition. I have a gun at 2, so he's going to take out my gun and gain 2 victory points. I'm going to use the junk train to gain 3 contact tokens. He is attacking me again. Arg! A gun or a person? Well, I've run out of both of those. So it costs him an action, and he only gets 1 victory point. Alright, we're spending a gear to get 2 contact tokens. No symbols. He gets 1 victory point. I'm going to spend those 2 contact tokens, which is going to get me a worker and another ammunition. Borgo passes. So I will become the first player. Alright, we're going to spend a gear and a body to get 3 gray contact tokens. We're going to use 2 of those contact tokens to build the scrap trader. We are going to use our construction token to build the rubble trader, which gives me a victory point. We are going to use an ammunition as a brick to develop the factory, which is going to give me a victory point for each of the gears in my state. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We are going to spend a gray contact token to build the Merc outpost. We are going to spend 2 blue contact tokens to make a deal for a person, a worker. We're going to send 2 workers to get a card. We're going to spend 2 guns to get there, and a protection. We will protect our skyscraper because it doesn't really matter right now. We will spend these 2 tokens to make a deal for another person, another worker. And we'll spend a worker and the ammo as a gear to get a victory point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm at 22. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he is at 31. I got some serious makeup to do here. Clean up, clean up. I'm the first player. Okay, we got a school, a training camp, and an arena. We're going to take the school. And he builds the production. This goes to the discard. Borgo's turn. Borgo's go build a pub. It's an open production. I get my choice between a clay pit and the rubble. We will take the rubble and gather our resources. So Borgo gets 5 actions this turn. Go guarantee the end of the turn, so this is my last turn. These flip over. We have merchants and punks. I get 2 workers, an ammunition, a gear, 2 pistols, an ammunition, 3 workers, a gray token, 2 cards, another card, a construction token, a worker, and an ammunition. I am the first player. Okay. Think we're going to try and take out one of his. Okay. He gains 1 point. Nope. He gains 2 points because he takes this away. I'm going to use the punks to gain 2 attack tokens. He takes 1 away, gains a point. Okay. We're going to spend our 2 guns to get a universal token and a defense shield. Oops, I forgot to clean that one up. And we are going to defend our, I guess we'll protect our oil field. He just gains a victory point. And the game ends this turn. We're going to spend these 3 tokens. Yeah, we'll destroy the parking lot and get 3 gears. He gains a point. I'm going to spend 2 gears to get 2 victory points. He gets a victory point. I am going to spend a person and a gear to get 3 contact tokens. He does a gear, so I have open production. So he uses my open production, gives me a worker, and adds 1 to here. We're going to spend 2 of these tokens to build the courthouse, which is going to give me a brick and an ammo. He is going to attack. He attacks a person or an arrow. That's range 2. That's range 1. So he's going to destroy my excavator. I get a brick. He gets 2 points. We are going to use our construction token to develop that into the rubble. It's a feature. I get a victory point for the development, and then I get 1 victory point for every brick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. He takes his last turn, he gets his last victory point. He's about ready to pass. I have no way of destroying him. So let's start to get some points. We're going to spend a person and 2 bricks to get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. He attacks, but he has no meeples left, so he passes. Okay, we're going to spend 2 gray contact tokens to get a feature of the radioactive colony. I place a person, 2 ammo, a blue contact token, and a red contact token. I can use those. Okay. A brick. So we'll spend 2 of these. Yeah, it doesn't matter which 2. We'll spend 2 of those to gain 2 victory points. We're going to spend the gear to gain 2 tokens, 2 gray contact tokens. Okay, we're going to send 2 workers for a card. Okay, that's good. We will spend 2 tokens to build bioweaponry. We're going to send 2 workers with 2 pistols to gain, oops, nope, can only do 1 at a time. Okay, so 1 worker and 1 pistol gain 2 victory points. We are going to turn our natural shelters. We're going to develop our natural shelters by spending a brick into a skull, which is going to give me a victory point, and 2 workers. We're going to send, we're going to spend ammo as a brick and redevelop my bioweaponry into slave hunters. It'll give me a victory point. We are going to send 2 workers to get a brick. Spend that brick to redevelop my huge machinery into black market contacts. Go give me a victory point. Okay, that was kind of a rough ending. I'm out of cards. I still have not enough to do. Well, I could get 2 workers. So we'll spend this to get 2 workers. And we'll spend those 2 workers to draw a card. No way to get 2 contact tokens. Can't destroy it. Can't make a deal with it. Can't use it for fuel. We're out of our colonies empty. Yep, so that ends my turn. Okay, and the final score, Borgo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 30 is 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 and 29 is 42. Squeak that one out. If Moloch draws an action with a brick, he takes the next top card and builds it in his tableau as a location. Notice this does not use a worker. If Moloch draws a gun, that means he is attacking your state. Draw the next card. Take a look at the symbols here. In this case, he is going to attack a fuel or an arrow. I look at my tableau. I have a fuel at distance 1. I have an arrow at distance 1. I have no other fuels or arrows. So in this case, since they are tied, I would choose which one. If, however, I had a feature, now we look at it, we have a feature at 2, we have a gear and a gas in, or fuel in the production, so we go with the largest distance. After you determine the most symbols, the longest distance, then you go from unused actions to used actions to features to production, and that would be it. If there's still a tie at that point, choose it. If it has a gear, what he does is he uses one of your open productions. If he uses an open production, he will get an extra action that turn. If he draws gear and you have no open production, or all the open productions are full, Borgo will end his turn. The basic actions for guns, gears, and bricks will work for all the expansions. If you're looking to add more flavor and quite a bit more difficulty, try the advanced gear options for all the different expansions. There are no differences to the setup for New Era or Winter expansions. The special gear action, if you're playing with New Era, will be to place a protection token on the Borgo location with the highest distance. If more than one have the same distance, determined randomly. If you are playing Winter, the special action for the gear is to give Borgo an additional action that turn. There are a couple of differences when playing Scavengers. First, you will have a discard pile, and Borgo will have a discard pile. After you get your 4 cards during the initial setup, you will then take 2 cards and add them to Borgo's discard. During the lookout phase, you're going to deal your 3 cards. You get to choose one. So I will choose this one. Borgo gets one randomly, and he builds it. Since I am the first player, this card will go into my discard pile. When it's Borgo's turn to choose first, he will choose one and build it. I will pick the one I want, and then this card will go in Borgo's discard pile. Additionally, during the lookout phase, You will now have 3 contact cards to protect. And during the action phase, if Borgo turns up a gear and your open construction is full or non-existent, what he's going to do is he's going to remove a worker from the board, then take the top card of your discard pile and build it as a location. This does not cost Borgo an action. If your open production is full, or you don't have any open production, then what he's going to do is he's going to remove a worker from the scoreboard and look to see if you have ally locations. These would be the Chain Gang, Uranopolis, or Sharash. If you do have allied locations, he is going to raise the allied location using the normal priority. So the first thing he's going to look for is multiple symbols. None of these have 2 allied symbols. Then he's going to look at distance. I have a distance 2, a distance 2, a distance 2. Those are all tied. But this one is in feature, which is a high priority. So he raises this feature. You get a allied token and, of course, a rune. And he scores 2 victory points. This is the setup for Moloch. Inside the deck, we have the Moloch cards. We have the machine deck centrally located. We choose our difficulty. In this case, we are going to choose a 2 machine game. So 2 machines are deployed. There is no assault during turn 1. If he draws a gear and your open construction is either full or you don't have any, he's going to remove 1 worker from the scorecard. He is then going to hack one of the machines randomly, even odd. So he hacks this one, and you build it into his tableau as a location. And of course, none of us know exactly what No Man's Land is going to bring to 51st State. I hear the conductor. That means it's time to go. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and a comment. Until next time, have fun training.